I am your host, Victor Freeze, aka the Frozen One. I'm over here with the one and only
Mariano, Mari Mars, Macanass Mari.
And we're here. This is the wrap-up episode for the season, man. It's been such a beautiful ride, man.
Finale.
Yeah, we're here. It's unfortunate that we're here. I wish we were playing some more fantasy football, but we got something to look forward to. Is playoffs. It's always good football being played in playoffs, but basically what we're gonna do this episode, there's no stardom system, of course, unless you're doing that money shit. I don't really play that money shit, but
that FanDuel, bro.
Yeah, that
DraftKings.
Yeah,
I'm still on it. Still on it.
But we're just basically gonna do it's like a look back, a season wrap up, type of where the players ended up, the top 5 players of the season, and then our initial. I haven't looked at this list since we did the first video where we had a top 10 video. If you've been here for the whole season, we had our rankings from the beginning of the season. So we're just going to go back and, look back and forth at that.
Yeah.
And basically compare how close we were to calling the right thing, you feel me?
Yeah.
But yeah, without further ado, we're going to get it rocking and rolling because Mariano got to go to sleep because he's tired.
That's right. Straight up.
So, Mariano, let's hit him off. We're going to start with the QB position. Hit him off.
Yeah,
with the top
5. For my first one at the beginning of the year, I said that Pat Mahomes was the number 1 QB, and I thought that was an obvious choice. But looking back at the numbers, Aaron Rodgers actually slid in at the number 1 position.
Aaron.
Aaron.
I called Aaron Rodgers being a top 3 quarterback, did I not?
Strong.
I said he was in one of my episodes. I said Aaron Rodgers is going to sneak into the top 3, and he's going to show the young bucks that the OGs can still, hang. And he did that. He came in at number 1. I was calling him coming in at 3. I thought one of the mobile quarterbacks was coming in at number 1. But Aaron Rodgers has just been slinging the rock with no number 2 wide receiver. Devontae Adams has been putting up monster numbers, and that move that they did in the offseason, bringing that quarterback, just fired him up, son.
Yeah. No doubt. Go ahead and hit him with the second one, Big.
So the second one is Josh Allen, and this is where Mariano could brag. I bragged about Aaron Rodgers. I called Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen, Mariano called him from the beginning since the season started. Where is he at on your list, Mariano?
I had him as my 6th rated quarterback.
Okay.
Before the season even started.
Yeah, I remember Mariano was hyping it up before we did any drafts. He's like, bro, he's telling me all the stats, all the stuff Josh Allen was doing.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen's just played out of his mind this season, and
out of his mind.
That Bills team is gonna be a problem in the playoffs, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. And I didn't think he was gonna be this good in his 4th year. Yeah. But he was that good.
They figured it out. He was so raw coming out of college, and they figured it out. It's like Patrick Mahomes, bro.
Yeah, he's like the bootleg or Kirkland brand of Patty Mahomes. You know what I mean? So,
but for quarterback 2, I had Lamar Jackson, and we were on the same page there.
Yeah, which was a complete whiff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess moving forward, a few things that I can take note of is anyone that has a miraculous season, right?
Don't chase those numbers.
Yeah, you can't chase that. And the biggest thing is there's no way for a player to duplicate that the very next season.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with Michael Thomas, last year in 2019?
Yeah, it happens every year.
You
overdraft a player.
You overdraft, and there's no way for them to duplicate the same results that they had. So moving forward, you got to be weary. Like next year might be Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Quarterback number 3. So he's looking at
I'm looking at half PPR.
I'm looking at standard.
He's looking at standard.
So right here, Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes are swapped.
Yeah.
So for standard is Russell Wilson. For half PPR is Patrick Mahomes.
And at the beginning of the year, I called Russell Wilson being a top 3 quarterback. Hit that one right on the head.
I got Deshaun Watson as my number 3. He had an amazing year towards the end. He picked it up. He comes in at number 6 on my list. Is it the same thing over there?
Yeah. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So he's number 6. So a little far from the mark, but he's still a high quality quarterback. And especially, I think he's probably one of the better value quarterbacks because you're not reaching for him in rounds 2, 3. You probably get him in 4 or 5. So that's the value on Deshaun Watson that I had. After that, I had Russell Wilson at 4. Who's actually at 4 over here is Patrick Mahomes, but on your list is Russell Wilson, right? Or yeah.
It's still Russ. Yeah, at 4. And then he's
minus 3
on
is
yours.
Russ.
Yeah.
So you got it right for standard.
I got it right for standard, not half PPR. Go ahead.
I said the exact same thing.
Yeah, we on the same wavelength. Wicked minds travel parallel.
Even after the little holiday hiatus, we still in tune with the fantasy vibes.
We still in tune. So at the beginning of the year, I said Dak Prescott was going to be a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year. We all know what happened.
He would have finished as a top 5, though.
Yeah, no doubt. The way that he was rolling, throwing for 500 yards a game, damn near, he most certainly would have been a top 5 quarterback. It still remains to be seen if he'll be a Dallas Cowboy next year.
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean, you never know.
My 5th quarterback that I had was Drew Brees. And the injury and old age, I think, just caught up to Drew Brees.
This is the last year.
Yeah. I think...
if he even comes back.
I think we're not drafting Drew Brees next year.
Yeah.
Could be a good, maybe backup quarterback you could have on your bench, probably. But as your quarterback 1, I'm not rocking with it.
Oh, no.
But the actual, so we told you guys our quarterback 5, right? And the actual quarterback 5 is Kyler Murray in on the season. And it's a trend that you're seeing these top quarterbacks there from 2 to 6, bro. All mobile quarterbacks, all could use their feet, all can make plays.
It's a new era.
Yeah.
New era 8.
Expect to see even more with Expertz next season, or Hurts. Like Hurts, you know.
The Eagles are just a joke, man. I mean, Peterson pulled him out of the game, and
no honor in the game, bro.
Yeah,
you don't do that shit.
And they even called it. Some of the players even talked about it. I think it was Miles Sanders.
You can see the linemen. They were all like, "What the fuck is going on,
like,
bro?
What's going
That's not
on?
what we do, bro."
They're just in shambles. They need to get a new coach in there. I think he was just trying to save his job and whatever.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
So now we are on to running backs. Now running backs took a really tough blow this year, especially for the first 2 drafts now, or first 2 draft picks. I got the short end of the stick of the first 2 picks this year. I had my 2nd overall pick, and I took Saquon. Most people pick CMC first and then Saquon, and that's definitely not how it fell at the end of the year.
Yeah. Obviously, on both of our boards, it was CMC and Saquon 1 and 2, right? The actual running backs that come in at 1 and 2, I don't know what's it looking like on it. Alvin Kamara is, of course, on the PPR because the receptions really make a difference with Kamara. Yeah, but over here I have Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry first, and then Dalvin Cook second on standard. Kind of whiffed that, you know, but considering the injuries, you can't put that on us.
No.
Yes.
No, so. I mean, injuries in fantasy football happens every year.
Yeah.
And it's just unfortunate. But I think moving forward, I'm staying away from both those dudes next year.
Saquon is on my shit list.
Yep.
Zeke is on my shit list. Those are CMC. I still have some faith in.
Nope.
Why?
I think that he's still a young cat, right? But look how many times he's touched the rock since he's been in the league, dude. You know what I mean? Which is a ton. And the same thing with Zeke too. I mean, Zeke, I think, is on the back half of his career.
Yeah.
And that's just my honest opinion. Once you get paid, you start getting fat and happy, which happened to CMC and Zeke. So, again, CMC he's a hard-working individual. He wants to be great. But moving forward, I'd much rather take Dalvin or
Kamara.
Or Henry,
Kamara's my dog, man.
You
don't fuck with Kamara because of that 1 year.
Yeah, because the last year, 2019, he just fucked me.
Yeah, Cook has been amazing since he bounced back from those injuries. I think Chubb would have been amazing if he didn't get injured either.
Yeah.
I was looking for a high season from Josh Jacobs, but it's just some games got out of hand for us, and I think that really affected our game plan, so we couldn't really run the rock with him.
Right.
Anyways, getting sidetracked here. So we had 1 and 2. My third was Kamara. Who's your third?
My third was Derrick Henry.
Okay.
So I hit that one pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dalvin Cook was my fourth. So again, I think I made a couple right calls. That's how I've been all year. I've been right on at least half of my calls.
Yeah, I called Kamara coming in at running back number 1 for PPRs, and not standard. He can come in standard. He came in third.
Yeah.
But I called that one. Kamara's my running back 3. I had Zeke at 4, and he fucking pissed me off this season.
Oh man, that was rough, dude. Well, none of us knew that Dak was gonna snap his ankle, and
he had an amazing start to the season until Dak went down, and then it was just literally downhill.
Everything went downhill once Dak got hurt.
It's horrible, unfortunate for Dak too.
Yeah, that was rough. Zeke was my 5, so. Again, I did have Nick Chubb in there, but injuries played a big factor this year.
Yeah.
With the running back position. 100%.
It made it so hard to go through the season. Even up in week in the semifinals, I had to get a running back off the waiver wire that day, bro, to plug in.
Yeah.
It's just
bro,
how
did I show you what happened to me? So week 17. Dalvin Cook was out. Mm-hmm. This is a championship game for ESPN. Cook had to be out because he had some family matters with his father, something like that. So he was out. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was my RB2, got hurt. So he was out. So I had to.
Level starting right.
I picked up David Johnson and then Wayne Gallman. Those were my 2 starting running backs
for the championship.
And then one of my boys dropped running back for Washington.
Oh, Gibson. Uh-huh.
And I picked Gibson up at the very last minute, but I fucked up, man. Well, I didn't really fuck up. It was just an unfortunate sequence of events. And next year, I'm going to try to get in my commissioner's year and push back the playoffs to week 12 and have them start in week 12. I'm okay with the 2-week playoff in ESPN. It's just it can't end in week 17, man. That's just setting everyone up for a fucking disaster. So moving forward, that's what I would like to see our league move in the direction of. Mm-hmm. But that's just a side note, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyone out there that's listening, just don't set your season up to go 17 weeks, man.
That's just setting up for failure.
Yeah.
My running back 5 was Derrick Henry, and then my running back 6 was Dalvin Cook. So Dalvin Cook is going to shoot up my board for next year.
Oh, yeah.
David Montgomery is a guy who's going to be on my board next year. James Robinson is a guy who's going to be on my board next year.
James Robinson, 100%. Gibson's
going to be on.
Swift. Dobbins is coming around.
Yeah, it's going to be a completely different top 10 video next year.
Again, same thing that I did this previous year with the wide receivers. If you guys seen any of my takes in the previous years, is I drafted receivers way too early last year, and then I hit it right on the head with receivers this year. Mm-hmm. And then kind of the same thing I think is going to happen with running backs. I drafted running backs way too early this year. But next year they're going to come around. I think Swift may be a first-round pick, if not second.
Yeah, that boy is
balling.
Magic
legit.
With the ball in his hands.
Dobbins
coming through. Gibson coming through.
Bro, we had a strong running back rookie class this year. Mm-hmm. So next year I expect it to be all systems go.
Yeah, second year, more continuity. It's always better for a young running back.
I think you're gonna see a new wave of running backs, and the old wave kind of leave, like Zeke and a lot of these other players. They're still gonna be taken high, I think. Mm-hmm. In our drafts, but still, there's a new wave of running backs coming around.
For sure. Especially with James Robinson emerging. He's going to be a top running back for sure.
Taylor, I mean.
Taylor came out the gates hot during the second half. There's a big reason why they're in the playoffs. Those big games that he's having.
Able to tilt the rock, man.
So moving on to wide receiver. So wide receiver number 1 obviously is Devontae Adams. This on both leagues it should be the same.
Oh yeah.
There's no doubt about it. That man was. Aaron Rodgers threw for 48 touchdowns. This man leads the league in touchdowns, and that's all you have to say about it. On my board, Michael Thomas is number 1. I don't know who's number 1 on your board.
Mike Thomas.
Michael Thomas, yeah. Unfortunately, the injury.
He just became a diva this year too.
Yeah, played a big part.
Punching teammates and shit.
He was on the headlines all the time, and it just wasn't a good year for him. So knocked him out. Coming in at my wide receiver number 2, I had Nuke. Because I thought the Kyler Murray and Nuke connection would be crazy. He's still, I believe, top 10, but he's not even top 5. So I have Tyreek Hill over here. And Tyreek Hill is the same over there. It's pretty much the same over here.
Yeah.
But DeAndre Hopkins finished top 5 in yours, so half PPR.
Half PPR.
So it's just the targets that he got that really boosted him up over there. Who'd you got for number 2?
Mike Evans. Mike Evans didn't even finish top 10. I think barely. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7. He's 8 for me.
He's 9 for me.
Huh? How do you get less?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, you must.
Perceptions.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I mean, mainly what it was with Tom Brady was a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, he got him hella touchdowns.
It's just the Bucks for fantasy, dude. It's just a shit show. There's way too many weapons, and there's only one football. So, I mean, I didn't anticipate them signing Antonio Brown too.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so.
In the middle of the fucking season, after Bruce Arians was like, "No, we're not taking Antonio Brown in our team.
Right.
It'll never happen." Of course, signs him.
So that kind of fucked it up.
So number 2 is actually Tyreek Hill, which on my list he came at 4. I don't know. Where's he? He's at 9.
I got 9. Yeah, so okay. I really short played that guy.
I mean, I was telling Mariana he's a difference maker. That man's electric with the ball in his hand.
No, I agree. It was just the fact of the Chiefs, man.
Yeah.
So much talent. Miko Hardman, Kelsey, Clyde Edwards-Helaire,
Watkins injured for a period of time too.
Yeah. So.
Coming in at number 3 is Stephon Diggs on both of the lists. I had Julio Jones as my third, and you know we've seen this season that you can no longer depend on Julio Jones.
Right.
It's the old age, and the man doesn't score touchdowns. It's the Calvin Ridley show. Yep. That's what we've been talking about all season and
all year.
And you know, he's just not getting it done. I'm not drafting him. Don't draft him early no more. No. You can't depend on Julio Jones in the first or second round, bro, because that's just wasting a draft pick at that point. Who do you have at number 3, Mariano?
I got DK on my number 3.
You know, you're not far from it. DK is 5 on my list.
Yeah, DK is 6 on mine.
Yeah, but you had him up there.
And no one had
him up there. He had an amazing season. DK Metcalf did. So, you know, good call on that one, because you can definitely get DK in like the 4th or 5th round, and you're getting a wide receiver 1, bro.
That's where I got him. I think I got him in like the 5th.
Yeah. So that's an amazing call by Mariano. He's a guru, man.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
The actual wide receiver 3 for the season, though, is Stephon Diggs on both of our lists.
Which no one could have seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, there were still question marks about
the integration of him
Josh
on the
Allen. Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's good. That's good for Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen that he has a premier wide receiver
and company. Yeah, no doubt.
Coming in at number 4, I have Calvin Ridley. Same thing. Only thing that really switches here is you have DeAndre Hopkins at 5, and I have DK Metcalf. My wide receiver 4 was Tyreek Tyreek came in at 2, obviously. Who's your wide receiver number 4?
Devontae Adams,
Ooh.
which he was number 1.
Yeah, so you're closer on that one. I had him at 8.
Yeah.
I was underselling the man for his amazing talents with an amazing quarterback.
Yeah, it's okay though.
I think what I was down on is that he's very injury prone, so he misses a lot of games
Not this
throughout
year.
the season. Not this season though. He's like, I'm on my shit.
Yeah, not this year.
And
That's
then,
a Cali boy right there.
Yes, sir. Played with Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Good quarterback, I know, from Vegas, you know?
Facts. Facts.
And then, like I said, 5 is DK and D-Hop. I have coming in at 5. I had Chris Godwin, and then I think just Godwin was injured, and then the whole new offense with Tom Brady, and, you know, he came on a little bit during the end of the season, but I think the injuries just fucked him. Antonio Brown fucked him, and Gronk being there fucked him. It's, you know, Godwin is an amazing receiver. He's going to be a free agent in the offseason, so hopefully he gets on a different team that doesn't have so many fucking options for him.
Raiders.
Hey,
I would love him on the Raiders.
Him and Ruggs.
Oh
That's
my
a problem,
god!
bro.
Oh my god! You know what? I would love Chris Godwin to come
keep
play
Nelly
for the
too?
Raiders. Nelly,
Ooh.
Ruggs, Godwin, Renfro.
Bro, it's over.
It's over. I mean, I would swoop on that.
Who's your wide receiver number 5 on your list?
It is Julio.
Julio. Okay. Yeah, we already spoke about Julio.
Yeah, we talking.
Yeah, fuck Julio.
So we are on to tight ends.
Which was a fucking another shit show. We started off strong and had so much promise at the beginning, right?
Tight ends just shit year.
I was like,
I
remember I was like, it feels like this is so deep, like this season at the beginning of I think it was like the first quarter analysis. I was like, you know, the tight end possession just feels so deep, and it just, outside of Travis Kelce and Darren Waller, if you don't have one of them two, you're basically fucked at the tight end position.
Yeah, that was like the cream of the crop, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Tanyan had one blow away 4 touchdown game.
Yeah, but then disappeared and then came off for like 2-3 more games.
Yeah.
Right?
But for my first one, I had George Kittle. George Kittle's been battling injuries, quarterback play, so he'll bounce back next year.
For sure.
Maybe whoever's throwing him the ball. He's kind of QB proof, like you say, about a nuke. Well, I'm just saying Waller, I mean, he puts up he's got wide receiver speed in a tight end's body.
Yeah.
Simple as that. The way he moves, he blocks,
I love him in those matchups with the corners. He makes them look stupid, bro. He's making Xavier Howard look stupid, bro.
Yeah.
He's just catching the ball over him and whatnot, bro.
He actually had one more target than Travis Kelce at 146 targets for the year and 2 more receptions. So 107 receptions, almost 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns. So Waller may very well be my number 1 tight end next year.
Hey, you know, and it's a good value because you don't have to reach in the second, third round like guys do for Kittle and Kelce, you know?
Right.
Darren Waller is definitely going to be a tight end I'm going to target early, not early on, but after all the guys get Kittle and Kelce and they're sleeping on Waller, I'm going to snag in there, and hopefully I got my wide receivers and running backs filled up by that point so I can get Kelce. Waller.
I mean, I hate to say it, Big, but I called Waller, man.
You called him top 3.
Top 3.
I had him top 5 for me.
Yeah, top 5.
4 or 5. At 5, actually.
And for number 4, I had Mark Andrews. Now, we didn't anticipate Lamar Jackson having a shitty season like he did. But in half PPR, he came in 5th. So again, the drop-off is just so large from 1 and 2. I mean, the total fantasy points of Waller, I'll give you an example, is 225 for the season. And the very next one, which is Robert Tonyan, scored 150, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a 75-point drop-off. That's huge. That's huge. So by Mark Andrews coming in 5th with 141 total fantasy points scored, it's not saying much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though he was still technically a top 5 in half PPR.
He wasn't doing much.
He wasn't doing much at all.
Yeah.
So
down here for tight ends in general.
Yeah, 100%.
I had Ertz in the top tight ends, obviously.
Yeah.
Shit at the bed. Andrews top tight end. Only real ones I got right was Kelsey and Waller, to be honest.
Yeah. Kelsey, Waller, Mark Andrews, and that's it for me.
Hopefully, the offseason is good to the tight ends, so we have some more production next year. Definitely with Kittle bouncing back, that'll, make the pool a little bit bigger, but
yeah,
unfortunately, it wasn't that good of a year for the tight ends. And then fucking kickers. I don't know if you guys want to hear about kickers. Should we tell them about kickers, Mariano?
Nah.
Nobody cares about kickers. But
let's just kick them out of our league next year.
Young Wei Koo. Young Wei Koo had an amazing season.
Young Ho.
My Young Ho Koo had an amazing season.
That's right.
Miami's kicker had an amazing season because Tua can't score the ball. And then defenses is basically Pittsburgh Steelers, and I don't know who else is good on defense. Miami is another good defensive. And apparently Los Angeles came on towards the end, and Indianapolis stayed steady, even though I called them having a horrible second half of the season. They still ended up at number 3. Wow. So they were still doing work that just shows how good of a defensive team they are. And I didn't see this, but Los Angeles Rams finished first, bro.
Yeah, I knew that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
I picked them. Well, I had them on one of my teams, and every week they were just balling, dude.
It's Aaron Donald, bro.
Yeah.
And Jalen Ramsey, bro.
Ron.
Two amazing football players.
I mean, they have probably 2 of the best defensive players in the whole league.
Of probably going to be the next, of this generation.
Yeah. I agree with that.
2 generational players, so.
In Pittsburgh, we knew that they was a solid-ass defense all
that
year.
Pass rush and the secondary, Minka Fitzpatrick with Joe Hayden. They got it on lock, man. But, it's just...
Biggest surprise is probably Miami, man.
Yeah, that's the biggest surprise, and it's all on Xavier Howard.
Because we used to shit on Miami, dude.
We're the Fuck Miami podcast, but, respect to the Dolphins for the season, bro.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
They
had a solid year.
It's now Fuck the Jets and Fuck the Jaguars podcast.
Right. Exactly.
On to the next shit show. Hopefully we're not the next shit show next season.
Right. Exactly.
But that pretty much wraps it up. We went over every position. We went over where we hit, where we went wrong. So we were pretty close on a lot of them. I think we called a lot of people. Called Kamara. You called the receivers. I called Kamara. I called Aaron Rodgers. You called Josh Allen. There's a lot of hits that we got. So and nobody's gonna get them all right. People on the TV don't get it all right. We don't. We missed some throughout the season.
We got called a bum. It's okay.
Shout out to you, kid. I don't even know your name.
Yeah.
But it's comes with the job. We're not even worried about it. We just love talking football. We're happy to do this. We're happy to be able to give information to you guys. Appreciate everyone that's been here throughout the season. Everyone that's been keeping us busy up until championship weekend. There were some people hitting me up on week 17. I'm sorry, I clocked out week 16. The week 17 was not on the plate for me. Like Mariano said, you're dooming yourself if your week 17 matchups is just chaos week 17 sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it was a great season. I ended up 3rd place in 3 of my leagues, and the other one, we're not even gonna talk about it. That was just a shit show because they auto drafted Patrick Mahomes in the 1st round, and I was doomed from there out. I had no running backs, anyways. But got 3rd place in all 3 of my leagues. But I have to pay no fees, so it's like I broke even. So
yeah, I was in the championship. I came in 2nd because of the Dalvin Cook and all that scenario week 17.
Week 17 bullshit.
I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with how the season ended. I didn't get kicked out of our league.
Out of the league.
So it was a nice little string for me. You know what I mean? But we're going to come back next year. I hope y'all ready. I hope you guys like the content that we put out this year.
Yes, sir.
It's been fun, to say the least.
Yeah, the continuity is just great, too.
Yeah.
I think we're going to pick it up around March when free agency starts.
Yeah.
Do a little impact video around there.
Mm-hmm. Take a couple months off. And
then we're going to do a little draft video too. How that impacts our stuff too. And then I think hopefully after all, if this shit gets figured out with the whole COVID shit, we could get guests back on the show. How we had, you know, in the original first season where you weren't the co-host, but you came on the show. We had an amazing show.
Yeah.
And that brought forth this whole continuity. You know,
for sure.
So, and I like having different, you know, other people's opinions
perspectives
and shit, you know?
and no doubt.
Hopefully we can get that going. We're gonna have a better. We're gonna get this room set up, green screen, and the whole. We're gonna take it another level. Each year we've been taking it another level.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what we hope to do.
We got some nice little plans and nice things in store.
Exactly.
For the podcast. You know?
And then if all our Raiders fans that are on here, we're talking about making a Raiders podcast. So you know, stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, that's it. That's all we got this season. I told you guys about the plans for next season. Hopefully y'all still rocking with us. Hopefully you're subscribed. Hopefully, you know, you appreciated all the work we put in, because we appreciate you guys, and that's, you know, really what it's all about, man. The love of football.
Straight up.
And you got any last words for tomorrow? Like I always say, man, you got any last words? Come on, hit him with some wisdom on the last videos. You usually say nothing, but come on.
Nah, that's okay.
I thought he was going to hit y'all with something. All right. Well, anyways, this is the Fantasy Experts, and we are out till next season, y'all. See you later.
Later.